Hey friends, and welcome to the happy hour. My name is Jamie Ivey and I'm your host, and today's guest is my friend Emily Lex of Jones Design Company. Emily and I met earlier in the spring, and literally we sat down at the dinner table and had an hour of conversation. And I left that conversation and I felt like I want to know this girl more. Like, she was just so wonderful in that hour that I knew of her. And so we've connected online, and she is on the show today. And I'm telling you, it is so much fun. I know I say this a lot, but it might be one of my favorite interviews ever. Emily and I chatted for 2 hours. Now, don't worry, I did not bring you 2 hours of content today. I broke it up into 2 parts. So part 1 today and part 2 will be next week. Our conversation today was like you meet a girlfriend for coffee and you look up and you think, where did the time go? And that was exactly what our conversation was like today. If you're new to the happy hour, I'm so glad you're here. The happy hour is a podcast that I put out every week where I invite a girlfriend to join me, and literally we just chat about anything and everything. We talk about the most frivolous things in our life, and we really go deep about what God's doing in our life, or some parenting moments, or marriage advice. It is really exactly like you would spend an hour with a girlfriend over coffee or a glass of wine. So I'm glad you're here. On today's show with Emily and I, we talk about everything from TV shows we want to watch with our kids, chore charts, how my kids should make their own lunches. We talk about how we get any kind of work done in the summer because all of our kids are home. We both have 4 kids. We talk about our latest vacations. Emily went to Hawaii with some friends, and I went to the lake in Tennessee with my family. We tell some pretty embarrassing stories about some photos that we wish never would have been taken. But then we also talk about what God is showing Emily right now, about resting and being still and really just sitting in the moment and letting God work on her heart. Emily is graciously giving away a pack of her July paperwork, but she talks about this in this episode. Super cool gift. So we're going to give that away over on Instagram. Check out my Instagram account. It's at Jamie Ivey, Jamie, Ivey. And you can enter there. It's super easy. I'll just ask that you follow myself and follow Emily. Tag a few friends, and then you're in. Guys, thanks to you guys that have subscribed on iTunes. It really helps people find the show. And even better, when you leave a comment or rating, it helps people find the show. So I hear all the time that people are telling their girlfriends about the happy hour. And I love that. I love that you get to meet friends like Emily Lex today and all the other guests that I've had on my show. So thank you so much for telling your friends. Thank you for your sweet emails. Thank you for your messages. I love to chat with you. Find me on Twitter. It's at Jamie_Ivey. Instagram, I'm at Jamie Ivey, and you can find me on Facebook as well. Today's show is sponsored by LuLaRoe. With summer here, there's no better time to start shopping with LuLaRoe than right now. My friend and consultant, Laura Ingram, would love to share this fashionable, comfortable clothing line with you. The options are endless, from maxi skirts, dresses, and leggings to little girls' clothing. There is something for everyone. And guys, I have some of their dresses. I'm going to tell you, the skirt that I have, it has pockets in it, and it is flowy, and it is soft, and it is comfortable, and it's like the most comfortable t-shirt you've ever had. So I cannot recommend this company enough. All the LuLaRoe clothes are made here in the U.S., so it's great because it's made right here in the U.S., and it has empowered many women across the U.S. to become entrepreneurs and find success doing what they love. You can shop with LuLaRoe and Laura over on her Facebook page. That link is on my website, jamieivey.com. Also follow her on Instagram for great deals. You can also find that on my website. This is a great place to get you ready for the summer. Cute dresses, cute skirts that are made in the U.S. and make you feel wonderful. Okay, guys, here is part 1 of Emily and I's conversation. We talked for 2 hours, and so I had to split it up. And so it's even kind of longer one now, but you're going to love our conversation, and then look forward to next week, part 2. Here's Emily and I.
Hi, thanks.
This is so fun.
I know. Well, so we met like for 5 minutes at that Mexican place.
Uh-huh.
And then
Guerro's here in Austin.
Yeah, and then I think I've listened to every single podcast. So
So
I'm a big Jamie fan.
Okay, did you hear the one with Meredith?
Touring?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
I did.
so this is where I'm such a big
her.
dork about you.
Why?
I thought your last name was Jones.
Right.
And so I'm
does.
like, was Emily Jones on that trip too? And she was like, who? I was like, oh crap. Like, surely like I haven't really messed up like a trip and a name. Oh my gosh.
Right. I know.
She's like, Emily Lex. And I was like, oh yeah, I just assumed her last name was
Why is
Jones.
that? Well, yeah, it's my maiden name. So
okay.
yeah.
Now
I mean,
know.
I'll reply to Emily Jones. My sister, like I have 2 sisters and they're married, but my older sister, she's like, her husband calls her Amy Jones.
Okay, just because it's sweet.
Just because it's like, we're the Jones girls. I don't know.
The Jones girls. Do you have any brothers or just sisters?
No, just sisters.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm the
Super
middle one.
fun.
Yeah.
And one of your sisters listens to the show, right?
Oh my gosh, Hillary. Yeah,
Okay.
she's my little sister and she's hilarious. And she actually wrote, I mean, I could tell you this on the recording, but she wrote me an email and she's like, okay, you're going to be on Jamie's podcast. I need you to answer these questions for her because I want to reply back to her when she doesn't know who Anna Kendrick is and she needs to know who Anna Kendrick is. So she takes notes during these things. I've got answers for her.
Okay, fill me in with what I need to know. What'd she tell you?
She told me that do you know who Anna Kendrick is now?
Possibly not.
So she's a girl on Pitch Perfect.
Which I haven't seen.
Okay, well, you might. Well, I don't know.
No, I was at a lake house this past week for our vacation, which I want to talk to you about vacation stuff in a minute.
Okay.
And they have just it's like a Blockbuster movie in their basement. And so I found, a Blockbuster store, remember those?
Right.
We used to go to a store and rent a movie.
Yeah, but I think about that sometimes, on a Friday night, we should go get pizza and go to Blockbuster.
Right.
Oh, wait, no, we don't need Blockbuster.
You're we can just buy movies on our TV.
Oh, wait. Yeah, exactly.
Our kids will never know that we used to go to stores and rent movies.
No.
Okay, all that to say, they had Pitch Perfect, and I brought it upstairs. I was going to watch it all week.
Yeah, yeah.
But I ended up watching, Avengers with the boys and stuff.
Right. Pitch Perfect is not one you want to watch with your kid. It's
No, yeah.
Bridesmaids or those really crass movies that I think they're really hilarious, but you don't. You got to be in the company. But I joined choir in college, even though I don't sing it, and I lip synced the whole time. But all of my friends were in choir. Kidding? Oh no, this is for real.
Did you have to try out?
Oh yeah, you had to try out. So I had to sing Amazing Grace, which I can kind of carry a tune, and so they let me into choir. And
that's hilarious.
And so I was kind of part of this culture of. And so that's what Pitch Perfect is about these a cappella groups in college. So it's such a spoof on something that I was sort of a part of, but I kind of spoofed it too while I was part of it.
So you're I get it.
So I get it, and it's hilarious. So Anna Kendrick is the main character in that. And then she's also in Into the Woods. She's one of the characters in there. She's just this.
What's Into the Woods?
Into the Woods is a musical movie that just came out not too long ago. I actually haven't
Meryl Streep in it?
Yes.
Is it kind of scary looking on the cover?
It looks scary, yeah. So
it's a kid movie, right?
I don't know. Have you seen Maleficent?
No.
Actually, that was one of those things I was going to tell you because you went over with someone on a podcast about all these movies that were the top movies of 2014 or something. Uh-huh. And you guys neither of you had seen Maleficent. I'm like, you guys, they did a terrible job on marketing that movie because it looked super creepy.
Right.
It was the one with Angelina Jolie.
Yes.
And it looked super creepy. So Ryan, my husband, and I watched it before we let the kids watch it, and we loved it. It was beautiful. It was this beautiful story, beautiful cinematography. It's a Disney movie, so you think
I
it's
have
for
11-year-olds.
kids.
Yeah.
Right. But it looks too creepy to let kids watch. And then you realize when you watch it, no, this is actually a really cool, beautiful movie. So I would say that one's a good family movie.
Okay, I'm going to do that. Hey, speaking of creepy movies, did you ever see Coraline?
No. Those are all those Ted Burton kind of movies, right? And I don't know. They don't have that appeal.
Okay, so we have this thing in the summer which they do free movies for kids. So
at the theater?
Yeah, so I'm at every single one because why would I not be?
I know.
And I usually sleep or have my computer in the back and work, whatever. So
no, you don't.
I take my kids to see Coraline 2 summers ago. So my youngest would have been 5 and my oldest 9. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we go and halfway through the movies, one of my kids looked at me and says, "I'm going to have nightmares for days, Mom." It was I wanted Aaron to see it because the art of it was absolutely beautiful and wonderful. But my kids and one of my other kids was that should definitely be PG-13. They still talk about that movie that scared them to death. So there you go.
I don't know. I'm not into that kind of creepy things. Yeah. Not creepy things. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Crass and funny. I'm good with that.
I can do that. Right. We just have. Okay. So I've never seen the movie Bridesmaids all the way through.
Yeah, I know.
Not because I was turned it off for any kind of reason. I just I don't know where I was.
Yeah.
They have a sing along here in Austin at Alamo. I don't know if y'all have movies like that where you are where you eat and
dinner and a movie thing. Yeah. Not where I live, but up
okay,
north
but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have a sing along, which they do these sing alongs. The only ones I've been to, we go to Elf every year on Christmas Day, which is a quote along, and it is so fun. They take the whole family. And then I've done Justin Timberlake sing along, which is a blast with girlfriends. Okay. And then this is Bridesmaids quote along. So a bunch of us got tickets, but I can't even go now, which I'm kind of bummed, but whatever.
Right.
Anyhow.
Well, you actually have to know the quotes.
Well, you don't have to. It's not like they give you a test before you get in, but it's just fun because every once in a while, I guess the most famous lines, they'll put them up there and everyone says it along. Yeah.
Okay.
It's fun.
I know. I've only seen Bridesmaids once, and I think I laughed pretty hard, and then I just haven't seen it again. I probably should again.
I have a girlfriend. My friend Noelle loves it so much. Okay, so what else did your sister tell you to tell me? This is so fun.
Okay, I should find that. I think it was a text. Let me see if I can find it. But she wanted to know. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. She did want to know a little bit more about your adoption story, and I was like, well, Hillary, I think you just need to read her blog. like she might need to not tell every single part
Hillary
of her life.
Some links that she can catch up on. Yeah.
Send her some links.
Which is funny because I don't know if some people, when they listen to the show, they just go find guests that they think they might want to listen to. But when I first started a year ago now, I mean, I circled around my like big name friends like Jen Hatmaker, Jenny Allen, and got them on. Right. That always helps.
Right. I know. Jen first
Hatmaker,
guest, Jen Hatmaker.
Exactly. I'm going in with a boom. But there are some other like, and I say no name. They're very special to me. They're my girlfriends, but they're not like famous.
Jones, Lex, like which one is she?
Whatever. But there is a podcast where I really do tell almost my whole adoption story, and it's where the girl interviews me. And so there you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I found her thing.
Okay.
Now,
what else does she want?
Shoot, this is her thing. So some notes and ideas for your things to talk about when you talk with Jamie Ivey. I know. So what did she say? She mentions getting dressed one day because it makes her feel productive. Oh, but I don't really know what Hillary's trying to say with that one, but maybe she just wanted to have that conversation.
Okay.
TV shows to watch with the whole family. She wondered what you watch with the whole family.
Okay.
Because Hillary and Mike, her husband, they are TV watchers.
Okay.
And they have little kids, but I'm sure like at some point they're going to want to do it as a family.
Yeah.
What do you watch? Actually, let's just talk about that.
Yeah, what do we watch? Well, I had this conversation actually with Jenny Allen, and she mentioned, and I had never watched this show before. She mentioned that they watch Shark Tank as a family.
Oh, yeah.
And we started that this summer, and now we don't have cable anymore. We just have Apple TV, so we have, I guess, Hulu, or I guess that's where we watch our TV shows. I don't even know. Whatever.
Okay.
But we started watching Shark Tank as a family.
Yeah. And do the kids?
Yes. And we also watch Mythbusters.
Okay.
But really only one of my kids digs it. Like he's like really into stuff like that. So I actually hate it and fall asleep every time that show's on because I could care less what they're trying to do.
Because it drags on for an hour.
It does. And it just doesn't appeal to me. Like I'd rather be watching Nashville, and so I just fall asleep. But we all like Shark Tank. So that's fun.
So when I was visiting Jessica Honegger, her kids and their neighbor kids were putting on Shark Tank. Like they had created businesses and they were going to create a panel where great. I know. So talk to Jessica about that.
Her one thing would be like an entrepreneur creating Shark Tank.
I mean, there's just there's no chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my family, I love Survivor and I have watched it from the beginning. So my kids, that's like the only show.
Is it family friendly? I haven't seen it since way before I had kids.
Like there's some drama that's not maybe family friendly, and then I don't love when they really start talking about relationships, and there's just some like questionable relationships that you just don't even want to have that conversation. But they love the challenges, so they kind of tune out when it's all like the interpersonal drama.
They don't even like that anyways.
They are not that into that, but they love the challenges, and then they get their favorites, and they're going for their favorites, and they understand the voting. And then we watch like the current seasons, but then I went back this spring. We watched the Africa season, which was season number 3, and one of the characters' name was Lex.
Oh, they loved it.
And one of the characters' names was Ethan, which is my oldest son. And Ethan and Lex were like two of their favorite guys. So that was really fun.
That's fun. You know what? My kids, I think, would actually like that as well. The challenges and the voting, they would really get into that.
I know. So maybe start with like the old season. Like it's on Amazon Prime for free is the Africa season. We could do that, So you could do that.
Okay.
And then you can watch them like one after the next, which we do. We'll watch like 3 hours of it.
Me too. Yeah. Me too.
Okay. What other questions did you have?
What other question did Hillary bring to the table?
I
should just have Hillary send me all questions for all my guests. This is
have her send questions. Are you good at packing school lunches?
Oh, okay, Hillary. My oldest is 11. I mentioned this, and my youngest 7. They pack their own lunches.
Really? When did they start?
This year. So
And do they pack more than a granola bar?
Okay, so I have a little list on the board because I have a little control issue. And so I want to pack their lunches because I want to be controlling of it, but yet I don't want to because I want them to pull their weight around here too, you know? And we have 4 kids. And so what I had started doing, my girlfriend Janet told me this, and this helped a lot. This sounds gross, but I promise it works. I would make one Sunday night like 30 sandwiches, okay? Some peanut butter and jelly, some with mayonnaise, some with mustard, because, you know, every kid's different. And I put them in Ziploc bags, and then I put those Ziploc bags in a freezer bag.
Okay.
And I just put all those in the freezer. So when my kids would make their lunch, they just pull a sandwich out, and by lunchtime, well, they would pull it out the night before, you know?
Yeah.
And then their lunchbox sits in the freezer, and then by lunch, it's like thawed out, ready to go.
Yeah.
Now, someone's probably going to email me and tell me that they're going to get that's really, I don't know if that's bad or not.
Well, I mean,
it can't be worse than making a sandwich in the morning, right?
No, and those uncrustable like peanut butter and jelly things.
They sit in the freezer. Well, they probably
sit in the freezer.
100 preservatives in them.
Right, exactly. And my poor kids, they want those fun things so bad. I'm like, I'm sorry, kids.
I don't buy them. I'm just a loser mom. But I think about it. When I was growing up, my mom made me a sandwich that sat in my locker the entire day. I didn't have an insulated lunchbox with a cooler thing in it.
Pack.
No, it sat in a paper bag in my locker.
That's true.
So they make their own lunches, but I have like a little chart. So they have like a sandwich. If it's a kid that can have dairy, they have like a dairy. We have a fruit. I even put on there like a veggie, although I don't like look every day, but I try to encourage them to take some kind of veggie, and then something we have this snack box in the pantry that's just full of snacks. So I kind of let them pick whatever they want, but it has to get some of those things in it.
Yeah. I know. I would say like we still have a couple weeks left of school, and one of the main things I'm excited for is like no more school lunches. I'm so done.
Oh, it's the best. And I just, you know, we can talk about this too. Like summer, we're already in summer break. For the love, we've already been on our family vacation. I mean, and it's June 2nd.
But you guys have a different schedule, right?
Year
When
round.
do you get out?
So we got out. This is our 2nd week of summer break.
Oh, you just jump right into vacation mode.
We left like the day school got out. Well, we were supposed to leave the day school got out, but we all had 3 of us got strep throat, and so we ended up leaving. Whatever, but we left like right when school was out.
Okay.
And so, but I'm still like, I went to the grocery store yesterday and just piled up on lunch meat and stuff, and my kids are still making their lunches during the day, and they don't mind it actually. They kind of like just being able to kind of go make their lunch whenever they want.
In the summer, it feels like nope, you fend for yourself. I don't need to make your food, but for some reason during the school year, I feel like I need to.
Yeah.
So. Maybe
my mom made me a lunch every day of my entire life. I mean, when I'm like a senior in high school, my mom hands me a lunch to walk out the door.
Awesome.
She was so
and
nice.
Did you like that about her?
It was great. Like I think that I didn't appreciate it at the time because you're like stupid, you know, and you don't think it's a big deal. But my mom worked a full-time job. I mean, and she still did that for me. So she was so nice.
Good mama.
Good mama. Anyhow, so that's what I do for school lunches, Hillary.
Okay. Thanks, Hillary. I know. I don't know if there's anything. I think afterwards she's like, okay, those weren't good questions. I got to come up with better things. But
if anybody wants to send me questions, you can email me and I'll answer them on here.
I know.
So
that's
there
a good
you go.
idea.
That's easy.
Yeah.
What's your Twitter handle? If someone wants to send you a tweet right now while they're listening.
Oh gosh,
what is Twitter?
I'm not really a Twitterer. I love Instagram.
I love Instagram too.
And I have Twitter. Let me look up what it is. It is Jones Design Co.
Jones Design Co.
Yep.
Okay.
And then Instagram is at Jones Design Company. Like really, when you name a business, you should not go for as long as what I went for.
Well, I feel like I told Aaron the other day, I think I want to go ahead and grab all the social media sites for my kids because, and I know that
we
sounds
already
dumb.
have. Well, maybe not social media, but we've already grabbed all of their like ethanlex.com.
You have
Ryan,
really?
Yeah, Ryan bought those a long time ago because he's like, they're not going to ever get them. We
need to get on that. It took me forever to get JamieIvey.com. Someone owned it, and it took me a couple of years. He was so nice and gave it to me because like I contacted him a couple of years ago, and he was like, no. And then I contacted him again, and he's like, actually, I'm going through a divorce. It's my wife's. And he just gave it to me.
Oh,
that was so nice. Now,
that was because they could charge, you know.
Yeah, I wish the guy that had my Twitter handle would give it to me. Because it's the only thing. It's like at Jamie_Ivey, which is so dumb. I hate it. But what can you do? And it's dumb that these things bother me in the world, but whatever.
Well, I know, but yeah. So maybe I should start grabbing the social media profiles. Whoever's listening, don't take my kids' names.
Don't get ethanlex.com. Well, you got it.
I got that, but
I think
no,
Lex is
Ethan
like,
Lex.
it's not that common though, is it? I mean,
no.
it's better than
it's not.
Jones.
I mean, yeah. But it's a weird last name. And the weirdest thing is that it's so simple, but I feel like every time I like make an appointment, it's for Emily Lex, Lex. Like I spell it every single time.
I spell mine Ivey, Ivey.
Which, yeah,
But,
because people would spell it Ivy.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Do you like your last name?
Yeah, it's great. My maiden name is Beakley.
Okay.
Jamie Beakley.
Yeah, which is cute.
Yeah.
But Jamie Ivey is just so cute.
It's easy, like I could be a singer or something.
Yeah, you could.
Except I'm tone deaf. So I'm kind of out.
Right, so,
that's what cracks me up about your choir.
You would be lip-syncing in choir too.
Exactly. But I couldn't have gotten in. That's why I asked if you had to try out.
Yeah, I had to try out.
You had to try out. So awesome. Okay, so tell me, Jones Design.
Yeah.
Give me the elevator pitch of what it is and what you do.
Oh, gosh.
You do a lot.
I do a lot. I know. So I started my company before I was married. So it was Jones, which is my last name.
Got it.
And I just was I actually was doing the marketing for these two real estate agents, and they needed me to have a business license. So I'm like, okay, well, I might as well name it something cute.
Yeah. Hello.
And then I was doing some invitations at the same time just for friends who everyone was getting married. This was right after college. Mm-hmm. So that became Jones Design Company. And then I did custom stationery for a long time, a lot of Christmas cards and kind of for some like high-end Seattle people, which was awesome because I had babies at that time. And so I would just basically work for the Christmas season and then be off the rest of the year and just make like a part-time salary. Yeah. So that's kind of how it started. And then I think maybe in 2009, Ryan, my husband, who's way smarter than I am, he's like, you should look at blogs. Like I had never even heard of a blog before.
Right,
and so I started reading some blogs and thought, oh, that looks kind of fun. Maybe I can do it. So I started one, and it was like a private family blog. And then I started one for Jones Design Company. And then it was too hard for me to separate it because I think women aren't compartmentalized like that.
We want it all.
We want it all together. Yeah. So I just combined it all to Jones Design Company. It became kind of a personal journal thing and kind of a company blog, but I wasn't really sure where it was going. And then it's just kind of like morphed into a thing that was getting a lot of traffic. And so I needed to figure out ways that I could make money from it because it was taking a lot of time and it was costing us money. So I started making some art prints and sold those. And I have like a membership thing with calendars and stuff that I sell and teach some classes. So it did not, like Jones Design Company started as a stationery company. The blog started as sort of a hobby that has kind of grown as I have grown in my interests. So it's all over the place. And as much as I'd love for it to be about one thing, like really, I am not about one thing. I love home decorating and I love graphic design and I love baking and I love talking about my kids. And so it just becomes kind of everything.
I love it. But I think that's how women are as well. Like,
I think so.
That's how your blog is. And this is just when I was thinking about doing a podcast, Aaron my husband Aaron would always be like, well, what do you want it to be about? And I was like, I want it to be about everything.
Everything.
I want it to be what women do. And we sit down and we chat about everything.
Yeah, because you're not only about adoption.
No.
Like that's part of your life. But if that's the only part that anyone ever got to know of you,
it'd be boring.
Then they're missing out on everything. It might be boring.
And like monotonous. Oh my gosh, right. Love.
I know. Yeah. Let's talk about it again.
Exactly.
No. I know. So that's where I don't know that I can give an elevator pitch of like a real clear, concise thing. I think what I've learned that I love doing is inspiring creativity in other people.
Okay, so that's good.
It kind of comes sort of naturally to me. And so I love that, like for my older sister who doesn't just make things up, she can follow directions. So she will say, Emily, I want to know how to make this pillow. And then I make a pillow and she's like, okay, I could probably copy that. And so
I'm kind of like that as well. I have zero craftiness in my body.
Right.
And so the other night, you can maybe help me with this, Emily. I spent 1 hour wasted of my life on Pinterest looking for a stupid chore chart.
Okay. Yeah.
But everything I saw that was so cute, I was like, oh gosh, like it involves a saw. Like I don't even, what? I need a piece of wood and I have to cut it? No, I don't even know what to do here.
I know.
And so I was stressed out.
Well, yeah, and Pinterest will stress you out. Oh, I mean, it's super inspiring, and then at the same time, you're like, I just don't even feel like I can do anything because I just saw too many ideas.
Pinterest is stressful for me.
I know. Well, and the chore charts are stressful for me because you get this great idea. We're terrible at chore charts.
We are too.
But you get this great idea and like, yes, we're going to start the summer with a bang and we're going to do this. And then like a week later, you're like, it didn't really work. It wasn't like, I don't want to stick with it.
I'll tell you this. My son just called me out this morning. So we're laying in bed together because Aaron's out of town this week. And Aaron doesn't do this, but for some reason I started this a long time ago that when Daddy's out of town, they can take turns sleeping with me. Really? I don't even know why I started. I mean, I guess when they're older, they'll remember, whatever. No, so we're laying in bed and he's like, and I started this media thing yesterday where you get 4 30-minute sticks and you can use them whenever you want, however you want to play your games, but that's it. Because my kids literally would sit on their devices for 15 hours a day. Yeah. And so there's
do they have to earn that, or
no, you just get it.
2 hours a day you get. Okay.
And I think that's a lot, but my Caden, my oldest, who loves his devices, we're laying in bed and he's like, I think this is really dumb. And I'm like, well, let's give it a little while. And I'm like, you can earn it. And I think I'm going to do something where like if you read a certain amount, you earn more time. So I'm thinking about that. But anyhow, he said this to me, Mom. He's like, well, at least every time you start something like this, it never lasts. I was like, okay, first of all, now we have a challenge. This will last all summer. But it's true. It is hard. We're bad about that too. But I have this chore system, which I'll take a picture and show it to you. It's the ugliest thing you've ever seen. But it's just chores like Monday through Thursday. So I'm really asking my kids, and I picked 4 things to be done. And so with 4 kids, it just kind of rotates. And we actually have kept that up for like a year.
Okay, what are those things on there?
Vacuum the entire house.
Okay.
Bathrooms, trash, and laundry.
Okay.
Oh, all my kids started doing their own laundry in the past year.
So do they wash their clothes individually?
Yes.
Okay.
So like on Monday, Story does her laundry. On Tuesday, whatever. But
Jamie, you're quite the mom.
Well, don't really think that. Maybe. But if I'm doing laundry sometimes and they're at school, I'll go through and get some of their stuff. I'm not like mean about it.
Yeah.
But they do their laundry.
Yeah.
But anyhow, that helps us because it just rotates and it's only for 4 days. So I'm just asking you to do something Monday through Thursday.
So your house gets vacuumed every day?
Yeah, but my house is really tiny, and if you
nice,
saw how they did it, it's so half-assed. Wait, can I say that on my own podcast?
You can say it to me.
Okay. It's so like it's like the worst vacuum job ever.
Right.
And I try not to complain about it because they're actually doing something.
So here's my confession: is that we have hired a house cleaner.
I have one too.
I didn't grow up with a house cleaner. We grew up on Saturday afternoons or Saturday mornings you do chores, and it was terrible because I felt like my mom had to nag us and we hated my mom for every Saturday morning. And so I'm like determined, I don't want to do that to my kids.
Yeah.
But I also really need a picked up clean house. And I have 4 kids and I work and Ryan works. And so we hired this house cleaner and she comes every week, which feels really snotty. Like, really? I have a house cleaner?
Emily, let me tell you this, and I'll tell everybody here. The best thing Erin ever did for me is when we had 4 kids, we got a house cleaner.
Yeah. So, because I just need it.
I know.
And she she folds our laundry. That was our latest thing. Is like, Maria, can we just hire you to fold our laundry? Because it's taking so long. And I don't even mind folding laundry. It's just that I wait until I have like 18 loads of a mountain. And then I sit and watch like 3 hours of show and fold laundry.
Right.
And so now Maria folds all our laundry. And so I personally love it, but I also feel like, gosh, what is that doing to my kids? Because now they don't have to clean. I'm not teaching my boys how to clean a bathroom because I've got Maria who's doing it. So
I think I'm kind of in the middle of the balance a little bit. Whereas like I said, they have these chores, but don't think that my floor doesn't have dirt on it because they do such a bad job.
Right.
But at least I feel like
they're doing it.
Yes, and I have to keep myself from complaining to them about it because I'm like, I don't want to be what you just said either. Like, I don't want to be like nagging, and that's my downfall with my kids. One of them.
I know. Well, and I still like they have to. I mean, it's almost harder because every week we know that Maria's coming to clean, which means that the house needs to be picked up.
Oh, yeah.
And so they still have to do quite a bit of work.
Yes. I'm always like, it takes
everywhere.
me forever to get the house ready for Alma to come.
Before the cleaner.
Yes.
I know.
And so my kids, when I ask them to pick up, they're like, well, isn't Alma coming? I'm like, you spoiled little brat. You got to pick up your room so she can clean it.
I know. Yeah. So I guess we still do a little bit of that. but it's hard for me. And I think my oldest, I think our kids are almost the same age. So my oldest is 11.
Uh-huh.
So I have 11, 9, 7, and 5. And so I feel like they're old enough now and capable enough to do things like, the dishes or whatever. But I like it done a certain way. And so that's my bad mom
issue.
I think
that's why I haven't given over the dishwasher, because I like it done a certain way as well.
I know.
And so I'm just like, I'll do it. It's I don't care. Yeah.
I know. The bowls fit better if they're like this.
So tell me this, Emily, because I am day 2 into summer break. And yesterday I sent a girlfriend a text and said, I think I need Xanax. Day 1.
On day 2.
Looking good here.
Right.
But I feel much better today. I think yesterday was just first day home. Aaron also left to go out of town the day after we got back from vacation. So it was kind of like, oh my gosh, there's no grocery, everything.
Yeah.
But here I am, day 2, and I'm working right now, recording this with you. And my kids are watching a movie, which doesn't come off their 30-minute sticks. It's my own movie, so they're good.
Yep.
But how do you work in the summer? Do your kids go someplace, or how do you do that?
Oh, so my schedule is just self-made,
right.
So I feel like that is such a great benefit, because if I don't put a blog post up, the world doesn't fall apart.
True.
And so a lot of my work includes creating new products. And so I just know that in the summertime, that's just probably not going to happen.
It's going to slow down a lot. Yeah.
It's just going to slow down. And Ryan he's a firefighter. And so his schedule is really flexible. So I'm not sure what we're going to do this summer. We'll probably do where he can go take the kids out for a little bit and I'll work for a little bit. But I just know that I'm just not going to work a whole lot.
Yeah.
We have swim lessons that are every single day, or we have VBS that are every single day. So we have some things that maybe I can work some work time into that. But I love hanging out with the kids, and I love summertime. Yeah. And as much as I love working, I also really want to just be in summer mode. Yeah. I kind of need a break too. So I don't know. I'm not sure what it'll look like.
That's good encouragement for me, because I think I was also stressed out yesterday, because I'm thinking, I have to keep doing this stuff. And really my main thing is podcasting right now. Yeah. But I think I just need to live in the summer, just let it go. And so
because you have a short break, don't you, with your kids?
Yeah, we go back the end of July.
Okay.
So we have about 8 weeks. I mean, it's perfect.
So it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, and so if you don't put a blog or a podcast up for next week, I personally would be really sad, because I want to I'm waiting for that.
Yes.
But at the same time, everyone understands. That's the thing, is that I think women understand. If I don't even need to apologize. Sorry, I didn't get a blog post up. I shouldn't get a blog post up, because if that means that I'm hanging out with my kids and doing the more important thing,
way more important.
I think people get that.
Yeah. That's last week when we were on vacation, I had every intention of working a little bit and putting a podcast up, but then I got to the house we were staying at. I'm like, why would I go lock myself in a room away from my family?
No, that's not. I mean, you love your job, and I know you're so good at it, and it's important, and it's valuable. But waiting for a week or 2 or 3 is not the end of the world. That's where we just need to say, this is awesome that we have a job that we can make our own schedule and take advantage of that.
So great. It's so great. Okay, so do you want to, I'm totally just guessing here, do you want to give away one of those paperwork things?
Sure. So,
tell me what it is, because I just looked at it and it's amazing.
It's cute. So each month is a different design. So there's a monthly calendar, a weekly calendar, chore charts that are pretty generic, dinner planning, just the printable stuff that you can use. So here's my thing, is that if it's cute, I'm more likely to use it.
I agree. I completely agree.
And so I'm a paper girl. I need to write it down on a piece of paper. So that's kind of where this thing was born out of, is okay, I need paper in front of me, and if it's cute, I'll be more motivated to use it.
So true.
So each month looks different, just because each month is it's a little themey, but I try not to be too obvious about the themes. And truthfully, there's quite a few pieces in this set, and I only use a few of them. But I think that's okay, because every person uses them differently, and it works.
Is it a monthly subscription, or can you buy every month?
It's a monthly subscription that you just to keep it clean. We've just only let it be a monthly subscription. But I'm happy to give away. I don't know that I can actually give a monthly. I'm not sure how to do it, but we also have So you can either buy the printable subscription where you print it on your own.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can buy a pack that comes pre-printed, which is my preference because then if it's sitting right in front of me and I don't actually have to go and download it and print it.
For sure.
I'm more prone to use it. Or like there's note cards in there and I want to be a little note writer and send cards.
Oh, me too.
But if they're not sitting in front of me, I won't. So the printable pack, why don't we give away one of those for
Sounds
July, or I have June too. I mean, we have
whatever
the set. So yeah, I can give that away.
I think I'm gonna put this show up tomorrow. So
okay. Oh wow.
I know. Okay. I'm gonna work on it.
Yeah. Then let's give a June set away.
Okay, a June set and printable come in their mail.
It will come in their mail. It's really fun to get. I know.
I love it so much. And are these things that could, like, if I didn't use, do they have dates on them? Like, if I didn't use the menu for this month.
Yeah. No.
Could I give it to a friend next month or something? I mean, I'm just.
Yeah, you could. And some of them do say June on it and some of them don't. I should look at it and see what exactly it says.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's give away a July then.
Okay, let's give it away July.
So then it'll be ready for you when you get it in the mail. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So fun. Okay, so that's great. I'll put up on I think I'll do an Instagram giveaway too. We'll talk about that. I'll explain it later on my blog. So go to jamieivey.com and you can figure out how to do that. But anyhow, okay, so vacation. I just went on vacation and you just went on vacation, but we went on two different vacations.
I know.
So mine was family, which was just the best. We did this. This is weird. I thought last summer was our very first summer of just a family vacation without Aaron working. Isn't that crazy? We usually would like vacation. It was just us, which was wonderful. We've done a lot of a lot of other family vacationing, like our supper club went on a couple of vacations. So anyhow, and then we did that, but we also do what you guys did too. And I want to hear about it. We also do like just Aaron and I alone. And then we've also done couples.
Right.
So what did you just do?
Yeah. So we just went to Maui, there were 13 of us.
That is crazy.
Just adults, no kids. So we did this 3 years ago with our group of friends from our neighborhood. We all realized, hey, it's all of our 10-year anniversaries coming up. So we all thought, actually, here's how it really went down. We all were joking. We're sitting around a bonfire or something talking. We're like, it's all 10 years. We should go renew our vows in Vegas. We should go do this Vegas thing. That'd be so fun. And then, we're all kind of joking. And then later the guys all were talking and they're like, our wives don't want to go to Vegas.
Right.
We need to take them to Hawaii, which aren't they as good guys?
Great guys.
So it kind of somehow it all worked out. We've got 28 kids between all of our families. And somehow it worked out that we all had our schedules open up and we all went to Maui for our 10-year anniversary. So this was 3 years ago, super fun. And so we've been wanting to do it again. So this took a lot of time, obviously 3 years, and kind of coordinating to get to this point where we could do it again. So this last week, right? We all did Maui again.
Had you been before you went 10 years ago?
I had been one time in high school and then so it wasn't 10 years ago, it was 3 years ago.
Okay, got it.
So I went one time in high school, we went 3 years ago, and then my parents actually bought a condo in Maui. So Ryan and I went the next year, so 2 years ago, and then we just went again.
But it's not very far.
It's not far. It's 5.5 hours, 6 hours maybe from us. So I know, we've neve been to the Bahamas, whereas people who live in the South are really never, that's so normal. Whereas Hawaii, it's pretty close for us.
We have never been to Hawaii. We go to the Virgin Islands, so that's not far from here either.
Yeah,
so,
no, we haven't done that, and I want to.
I know. We're going this summer again, and I just cannot wait.
Just the two of you, or are you going with a couple?
Well, there's gonna be another couple there as well. Yeah. But we have our own little house and stuff,
So we all went. So there was 13 of us. One of our friends, she actually just got divorced this year, which is terrible, but proud of her for just still coming. She's amazing.
You know what? That's really cool that she still came.
So cool. And it's been heartbreaking. This is one of our really good friends. And so it's
was
kind of
her husband on the trip 3 years ago?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I know. Wow. So the fact that she came again, we just love her and we're proud of her. She had a great time. Actually, she was awesome. She and I sat one day at the pool talking and she's like, so, this is hard and it's heartbreaking, but I'm feeling like I'm finding myself a little bit. And she's like, I want a tattoo. I've always wanted a tattoo, and my husband didn't want me to have a tattoo. I'm going to go get a tattoo.
Did she go in Hawaii and get a tattoo?
In Hawaii, yes. And we were like her parents, her paparazzi. We all go there. We're all watching her, like
That's
taking
the
pictures
best.
of her getting this tattoo. And it's this, actually I drew it for her, and then she went in and had the artist kind of figure it out. But it's this starfish that says chosen, and it's just beautiful. It's like meaningful, and she got it in Hawaii. And so
where'd she get it on her body? It's probably none of my business, but
no, I know. Well, she got it on her back, like shoulder blade kind of.
Okay, awesome.
And it was hilarious. Like there were 8 of us maybe in there watching her, and all of us just have this like pure skin. None of us have tattoos. And the artists in there are looking at us like they're these Hawaiian people who are super chill and fun, but they're looking at us like, oh my gosh, you guys are so ridiculous.
You're like straight out of Seattle or something.
We are straight out of Seattle. So
that's
cute.
Hilarious. So you have 0 tattoos.
Yeah. 0 tattoos. No, when I was in high school, I wanted like a dolphin anklet.
And are you glad you did not get the dolphin
so
anklet?
Glad. Can you imagine? Like I have nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with tattoos, but an anklet like that is just so 1996.
I know. So. When I was in high school, I wanted a tattoo as well. A lot of my friends were getting them. Not even my close friends, but just I knew a lot of people getting them, and they would get fake IDs and stuff and go get them.
Right.
And my boyfriend at the time gave me some really good advice. He's like, just wait until you really are 18, because I'm like 16 years old. I mean, first of all, whatever you want at 16, it's stupid.
Oh, you're not going to want it. No.
Don't do it. Like, that's just the advice. But a 16-year-old doesn't believe that. But I just went with, I believed him because, he was the best thing ever. Yeah. Mm-hmm. and so I waited, and I was so glad. But I ended up getting it later. But whatever.
What do you have?
This is so cheesy. I cannot even believe this. It's a heart.
Okay.
And it's like my bikini line. Like, I'm serious.
Like those stickers that you get when you go to the tanning.
Right?
bed.
Exactly. It's exactly like the sticker. It's a little bit bigger. And awesome. I have had a baby since then. And so the heart kind of looks like it's missing a piece
twisted.
of it. Yeah, it's got a little twist in it now.
That's super hot, Jamie.
It's so like, I just am always like, that's such a 19-year-old tattoo. Like, whatever. But the funniest story about that, and I can't believe I'm going to tell this to the entire world, but when I got the tattoo, this may be too much information. Anyhow,
I hear it.
I took some friends with me, and we took pictures, because that's a smart thing to do when you're getting a tattoo on your bikini line, right?
For sure.
That's really smart, because you're 18 and you're stupid. And so anyhow, we took these pictures, and back, in 1997, you actually had to get them developed at a Walgreens.
Yeah.
And so I get these pictures, and it's just not pictures you would show someone. I don't know why I thought I would take them. And my dad moved me home after that semester. And I'm sitting in my parents' house, and he comes in and he throws these pictures down the table. And he's like, I'll let you tell your mom about this. And I was like, I don't know that I was more mortified that like now they knew I had this tattoo, or my dad had just seen these pictures inappropriately. I was so stupid.
Know. That happened for my first one who was born, my Ethan. So it was 11 years ago, before really there were digital cameras? I don't even know. And so somehow, this was not the plan, but my mom and my mother-in-law, who I love, they ended up in the room when I gave birth, which wasn't the plan, but
nothing. When you have a plan and then you're having a baby, everything's out the window.
Everything's out the window. Like you don't know. It was my first baby. I didn't know.
Yeah.
So, and my mother-in-law's a nurse, and so like it was fine, and it was really fine to have them there. But she took pictures, and the pictures showed things that I didn't really want shown. And then Ryan's stepdad, who is his dad, like I mean, he's my father-in-law. He's the one who developed them. And then he brings all the pictures over and is like, here's the pictures. Like, I don't know for sure that he looked through them, but I'm imagining he probably looked through them.
Well, I'll tell you who did look through them, Emily. The little 15-year-old guy developing them at Walmart.
Yeah. No, and that kid, like whoever that kid was, he's like, ooh, not at that. So yeah, I don't know. Just keep the cameras out of the delivery room. Is what I say.
Keep the cameras out of anywhere that you don't want the whole world to see. That's my advice.
Oh
gosh. Okay, so
anyway,
Hawaii.
Vacation. Yes, vacation.
So wonderful. And
it was so, what was funny? So we love our friends, and we have a great time. But the very last day, everyone had gone home, and it was just me and Ryan, who stayed for one extra day. And it was so nice just having the two of us to be able to sit and talk, and we didn't have friends there to distract us. Because part of it is like if we went on a 9-day vacation of just me and Ryan, I feel like we'd run out of things to talk about.
I mean, that's not being mean. That's just the truth.
No,
it
it's
doesn't
just
matter who you're with. Yeah.
You're just and then what's going to happen is then we're going to start going deep, and we're going to start like getting in a fight or something because we're like, wait, why don't we have anything to talk about? Maybe our marriage isn't that strong. And, So going with friends is really fun because you always have something to talk about. It's always like a new adventure. But then that last day, it was so nice. So I think if we're going to do it again, we're definitely going to build in a couple days that we just get to be alone, because that's really important and valuable for marriage too. Like not just to have fun with your friends, but then to just like really get to connect, and you don't have distractions, and you're not responsible for anything, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's really good.
So it was wonderful. It was like we swam in the ocean and snorkeled and ate amazing food and slept in. Like it's perfect. I want to go back. I mean,
I have a girlfriend going to Hawaii in a couple weeks, and they honeymooned there, and I think they've been back another time since. We've been married about the same. It sounds like we've been married about the same amount too. We're just 14 years this year.
Okay.
But she just loves it. Yeah. Yeah. I love those times. Like Aaron and I will just be in St. John's alone, and those vacations with us just alone, I think that they literally are like sustainable for our marriage. Yeah. I mean, because we both have pretty busy lifestyles. And so, I mean, I feel the same way about date nights. And I talk about that all the time, about how it's important for us. But we just connect, and you just connect when you're away. I mean, I don't know. Do you agree? Like, you just connect easier.
Yeah, I think so. Well, you just have no distractions.
Right.
And, you know, as much as Ryan's home a lot, and he works on the business with me, like we are together a lot, and we talk a lot, but it still feels like there's always interruptions, or there's always some other, like you're not just relaxed and just kind of doing each day relaxed. And that makes a difference. So I don't know. And plus I just think like we're having fun, and we're in this gorgeous place, and I feel like God speaks to us near the ocean for some reason.
No, it's great. So I know.
It's just like, I don't know, just it kind of like empties your soul a little bit of all of the like junk and lets you just kind of be with your person. Yeah. It's amazing. It's good.
I feel like you just mentioned this too, and it makes me think about this too. I feel like sometimes God speaks to us as like couples too. Like when we're together and there's none of those distractions, if that makes sense, you know, like,
I mean, I think that would be that's like the ultimate dream. When you're married, you want to feel like God's speaking to you as a couple, and letting yourself be in that position is hard when you're doing regular life and you're moving and you've got kids and you're, you know, it's like you're constantly going. So just taking a break is helpful.
It's really great. Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned to me offline, I hope it's okay if I bring this up, just about like some things that God was showing you there in Hawaii with one of your girlfriends. Do you want to chat about that for a little bit?
Sure.
I mean, it's just, but I think that I read it and I was like, yes.
I know. Yes. So you send an email saying like, tell me what you're into. Tell me what you're excited about. And I'm like, man, my heart is just in this like nasty, hard place. Like I want to be excited about talking about fun things. And yet really like the reality is that, I just feel like God's really working on us and speaking to us. And so that's the reality of where I'm at right now. And I think that's like, I can't lie about that. So, I think so. My best friend a couple months ago, she's like, okay, Emily, I have this picture for you. I just feel like maybe you are kind of on this bike and you're going. You're like just really pushing it. And when you step off, you realize you're on a stationary bike. And I don't want you to be on a stationary bike. I want you to be on like a bike that you're actually moving and going. And it was like a sweet picture. I loved it. I mean, I love my best friend, and it didn't mean a lot at that time. And I feel like coming home from Maui, that means everything to me right now. Because I think what Ryan and I discovered is that we are good. We're like, life is good. We don't have a lot of complaints. We're not going through big issues, but really and it's like, we're striving, we're on that bike, we're going, we're moving. But underneath there's some sadness and some brokenness and, some issues in our marriage and in my life that just haven't been dealt with because life has just gotten busy and good, and on the outside things are just going, and I just haven't taken the time to really push into those like hard things that shouldn't be there, just beliefs that I'm living a certain way. And for me, like I can be specific, for me, it's that I want everyone to approve of me. I'm doing and being, and I just want to know that you love me because because I'm good, because I'm nice, because I look good, because like it's all performance based. And to have that kind of revealed to you is like, ooh, if that's how I receive love, then that's also how I'm giving out love, which means that my love is really conditional.
It's based on how you perform.
And it's based on how you perform. And that, like, my head knows better than that. I know that God loves me, not because I have done anything. I know this, but what I'm realizing, and like, unfortunately, it took going to Maui to realize this, is that my heart really doesn't believe that. And I am still just stuck in this trap of wanting to prove myself over and over and really questioning, like, am I valuable? Am I like, even if people don't like me, am I valuable? And even if my husband, isn't like hugging me today, does that mean that that he doesn't value me? And then I'm like stressed out about it. So it's just, I'm so much more insecure than I would ever thought. I didn't know that about me. So it's been ugly, but
it's so good. I think ugly sometimes leads to like the most beautiful things ever. And it's
so beautiful.
It's so wonderful when, and it sounds like this is what's happened. It's so wonderful when we actually like give up and throw our hands up and say, okay, God, I'm going to let you do what I don't want you to do, because it hurts, you know?
Because it hurts.
Yeah. And it's like you have to go through the mud.
And for both me and Ryan, like what we know right now is that God is asking us to rest and to abide and to be still. And those are things when you are on that stationary bike going. And like, I don't know if you've seen like art prints and things on Instagram, and hustle is like a word right now. That's like cute, trendy word. Get it done. Go for it. And I am just exhausted. Like I've been striving and hustling and doing and for like maybe all my life, because that's how I get value is by doing. And I'm a doer. Like actually my name, we went to this women's retreat a few years ago, and she had, I don't know how legit it is, but there was some book about like what your name scripturally means. And mine is diligent worker. That's what Emily means. And I am a diligent worker. I work hard and I love working and I love a checklist. I like getting it done. So right now what God's calling us to do is to rest and abide. And like, I just did the She Reads Truth Fruit of the Spirit study. Did you do that one?
No, but I love their stuff.
I designed that one. So I was like, better do it. And it's been so good, because it's like a branch doesn't strive to produce fruit. It just knows that when it's hooked into the trunk, it's going to produce fruit.
Yes.
So that's just been the message that we're getting, is like, we just need to rest and abide. And that's hard for doers and movers and hustlers. And it doesn't feel comfortable, and it feels unsafe. And I think I said that in an email to you, that like this picture that God keeps giving me is, or the verse is like, I will fight. The Lord will fight for you. You need only be still. And that's, Moses is saying that to the Israelites, and the Israelites are complaining. They're in this, like they haven't made it to the promised land, and they're complaining that, gosh, we just want to go back to Egypt. Like, yeah, we were slaves, but whatever. It was comfortable.
It was comfortable. We knew it.
Yeah. And Moses is like, you guys, the Lord will fight for you. You just need to watch, just sit back and watch the whole thing. And that's kind of been like for the last week, that's just been what's in my heart. Like, gosh, Emily, stop. You do not want to go back to slavery. You want to be free of all of these ugly things, even though for 36 years you've lived in a certain way that's become comfortable and it functions. And
or
so
you think
now,
you think it's functioning. It is, but you think it's the best.
Right. But what if there's something so much better? Exactly. And I know, this week and just the conversations that Ryan and I have had and the walls that have broken down and just the vulnerability that we've had together is like, seriously, this is what my most intimate relationship has been lacking. Like that's really amazing and exciting that God would do that to us. And I don't know. It's just, so that's kind of the place I've been in, but
I love it. And I think that there are going to be like so many women that are listening and being like, just nodding their heads like, yes. Yeah. And I think too, there's just something, even though you're like a doer and diligent worker and someone else that may be like, that's not their biggest thing. But I think when you become a mom and a wife, there's just something that society tells us that I mean, Pinterest tells us, everything online tells us that you have to do this and this and this and this.
Right.
You know, I mean,
well, and I'm
tells us
afraid
that.
I perpetuate it too on the blog, you know, like there are some times where I'm like, this kind of disgusts me because I'm posting things on Instagram that make my life look really good when really my heart is not in a great place. Or I'm showing a project after project after project and my house looks really clean. And like some of that stuff really is true for our life. Like for some reason it just works for us. And I like our house does stay pretty clean, maybe because we have Maria.
Yeah. but I mean, it's just how your family works.
It's how our family works. But I hate that it makes other people feel bad.
Yeah.
Because that's never the intention. You know, it's just, I want to inspire creativity in other people. And part of that means pushing out stuff, you know.
Do you write about this on your blog?
I have from time to time. I'm not as deep of a writer often as I probably am in real life, but
that's a good way to balance. But how do we, as I wonder this all the time, Emily, how do we as people who, I would say my job is pretty much online as well. And there's like this, like you have the Jones Design Company brand, which you are that as well. I mean, there's nothing new about that. You know, my brand would be my podcast and whatever. How do you portray your brand and yourself, but keep it true? You know what I mean? Do you ever struggle with that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes, a little bit, but I'm also pretty, I feel like I'm pretty vulnerable and honest, and I probably would overshare for what other people would like.
Me too. Yeah.
So I think it's just a matter of every once in a while popping in and kind of like not taking myself too seriously. I don't know. I think there's the risk of just kind of losing yourself and losing who you really truly are when you're just saying nice fluffy stuff all the time. So I feel like I have, I don't know. It's hard because you can just present whatever you want. Exactly. So I am conscious of it and I try to make sure that I'm honest, but I also know that the person who reads Emily of Jones Design Company doesn't have the full picture of just Emily Lex, you know, in real life. And so I don't really have a lot of blogging. None of my friends care about blogging. Yeah. They're not bloggers.
Yeah, mine
and so I have a group of just people who know me as Emily the mom and Emily the like go to this school. And they know that I work and they might read the blog a little bit, but they're not impressed by me.
You know, that's what I was going to say. No, I like that. And that's what I was going to say too, is I think when it becomes like a shortcoming for yourself, like either you or I, is when our entire community is online and there's no face-to-face community.
Right.
And so I'm like you. I have girlfriends who don't ever read my blog, probably don't even listen to my show, but they get to know, they should, hello. But they get to know me and like for all of my like, I get to confess my ugliest things to them, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, I've said this before. In fact, my best friend and I went and visited one of my blog friends who I just adore dearly. And when we were sitting there, so Casey, my best friend, she was there with me and she had one of her littlest son was there. He was a baby. And I was sitting on the couch just playing with Eli, kind of, you know, bouncing him around. And my friend, my blog friend who I had just met, we're visiting her. She looked at me and she's like, wow, Emily, you're really goofy. You're really kind of goofy with that baby. And she wasn't that, my voice sounds like she was saying it really rude. And she wasn't. It was just one of those, like, she's watching me in real life being goofy with a kid.
Right.
And I'm like, gosh, my real life people know that about me.
Yeah.
I'm really goofy and I really like kids. And I will walk into my kids' classroom and dance in there because it's fun and it makes them laugh. And you don't get that when you read the blog because what I talk about is decorating my house,
exactly.
you know?
Right.
So it just made me realize, like, I really need to be investing in those online friends because that's important and it's part of what I do. And it's like, there's value in knowing other people who have the same struggles with blogging or whatever.
Yeah.
But I also need to make sure I'm investing in my real life, face-to-face friends who are the ones who see me day to day or who can help take the kids to ballet if I've got to get the other kids to baseball, you know?
Yeah.
Those are the friendships that I really need to also be pouring into.
Yeah, I know. I hear that. I feel like the podcast has been really good for me because it's easier to talk about things than it is to write about things. I think.
Right.
And so I feel like that's been easy. But I thought about this last week. So just for an example, we were on the lake and I posted a picture of Amos and I on the back of the boat. And I wrote something like, I don't even remember what, something about adoption is hard. And this kid was having a hard time. Yeah.
Sure.
Super
so
sweet.
sweet.
I mean, he just was having a really hard time being happy, a hard time all this. We had a rough day. And then he crawls in the back of the boat and just snuggles up to me. I mean, that's if you have a child that has been through hard places, it's a big deal. It was a big moment. Aaron took a picture. There it was. Yeah. And everyone was just like, oh my gosh, you're such an awesome mom, da, 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 da. And I was like, so the next day I like lose my temper with one of my kids. And I'm like, well, I'm not putting that on Instagram. Like, I'm not, I don't have a picture of me raging. You know what I mean? Yep. And so I felt kind of this this like thought of like, if people only see that part, and I don't ever let them know that sometimes I'm a bad mom. I mean, I have to apologize to my kids a lot, and I make bad. Like yesterday, I sent Aaron a text, and I was like, and I used another bad word. This is gonna be 2 times in one show. Oh my gosh, I really love Jesus. I just sent him a text, and I said, I feel like such a bitch today, because I just was losing myself. But that's not Instagram, you know?
Yeah. But Jamie, you do such a good job of being really honest on your podcast.
Yeah, that's why I think that's good.
Maybe people won't get that on Instagram from you, but if they follow you, like listening to what you actually have to say, or gosh, your series on the notes that what you would have said to yourself.
Oh, yeah.
I read through that series and I'm like, this is powerful and this is encouraging. And so I think you're doing a really good job. No matter, I mean, even if it's cute pictures here and there.
Yeah,
because
I know.
That's
it's
life
Instagram
too,
though, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that. And so hopefully, I don't know, it makes me think, hopefully I do enough of the journaly posts out there that people can know kind of where my heart really is.
Yeah. And I think
I also know they're not going to.
Yeah, but I think it's good for all of us. I mean, we live in such an online world these days. I think it's good for all of us just to realize that everybody that we might put on some type of pedestal, they put their panties on the same way you do. I mean, you know, we're just, they're just people.
Yeah. I know. I've thought about this with, I don't know why this always comes to my mind, but Britney Spears, poor girl, she had one of her babies at the same time as I had one of my babies. And there were pictures in the news about her, like her baby was like falling out of her arms or something. And it was this like, Britney Spears is such a terrible mom. Right. I mean, I don't know if she's a terrible mom or if she's a good mom, but how many times, if I had paparazzi following me and my kid's pushing himself out of my arms and it really looks like I'm throwing him, I mean, I want to look like a pretty terrible mom too.
We got to remember that as well.
You got to remember, like, gosh, you can catch me in a moment where it looks pretty bad, or you could catch me in a moment where it looks pretty good.
Awesome.
And we're all in that same boat.
Yes. So. That's our advice today for all of you listening. Don't think what you see in the media is the real truth. Come on, people.
I mean, poor Britney Spears.
Poor Britney Spears. She's probably a great mom.
She could
we don't know. Whatever.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know, but she had some good songs back in the day.
There she did. Speaking of back in the day, did you see that I went to a Garth Brooks concert?
Oh my gosh, yes. I didn't realize how much I love like early 90s country music until most recently. Like my friend started playing Diamond Rio and I don't know, the Judds. Yes. Like, I love this music.
I'm telling you, so we were in Knoxville and we actually ran into him in the practice gym of the basketball gym. Got a picture with him, which everyone's like, that's so cool. He said 3 words to it. I mean, it wasn't a big deal, you know.
What was he doing? He just was shooting.
He had a press conference. So he was walking through and we're friends with the basketball coach there. And so he was kind of giving us a tour and whatever.
And he was there.
Yeah, and he was there. So he commented on my earrings, which if anybody follows me, they know I wear these big feather earrings.
Your feather ones?
Yes, that Jen Hatmaker also has. Our friend Tiffany Wade makes them. And so he commented on them. And I told my girlfriend, and she's like, you should have given them to him. And I'm like, I didn't to give to Trisha. But whatever.
But doesn't your girlfriend, she doesn't actually sell those earings, right?
I'm always on her.
Tiffany.
Come on.
Come on.
Everybody
Although I can't say I'd wear them. I'm not really an earring girl, but.
She does sell them, but she needs to sell them. She's got Garth Brooks who likes her.
Hello.
And Jen wore them when she was on the Today Show. And so then she sold a couple, whatever. Tiffany, if you're listening, which she doesn't listen to my show, sell the earrings.
Sell earrings.
Whatever. We went to the Garth show.
Yeah.
I sang for 2.5 hours straight. My throat hurt so bad at the end, and it was the best concert I've ever been to. It was so
Did
wonderful.
you know that you knew all the songs?
I mean, I'm like, I grew up. I listen to country music now. That's my
Yeah.
kids hate it. Aaron
That's
hates
your-
it. Whatever. It's just what I like.
Yeah.
I didn't. Every time he'd play like an awesome song, I'd be like, man, this has to be the end. What else is left? And then he'd come
Right.
back with another one. I mean, I knew every song except for
Right.
one, and it was one of his newer songs.
Yeah. I think even though I wouldn't say that I like listen to Garth Brooks, I bet if I went to that concert, I would be able to sing
You would
along
be
with
like
him.
me, yeah.
Oh, so fun. My sisters and I went to the Justin Bieber concert a couple years ago.
Okay, that's hilarious.
Because maybe I don't love him now, but
Did
I
you
loved
take little
him
kids with
years
you,
ago.
or it was just
No,
y'all?
just my sisters and I. My ears have never hurt so bad in my life because there were some screaming girls.
Oh,
but
I
Jamie,
bet.
so they counted down. I don't know if they did this for the Garth Brooks concert. They counted down from like 10 minutes. Every minute, the crowd would erupt. Like 9 more minutes till he's on stage, 8 more minutes, whatever. So finally, by the very end, like the last minute is just constant screaming. And there's like, fog going out. And then you just see his silhouette pop up. And it's like the world is screaming for this kid. And I don't know, how old is he? 20 years old. And I'm praying for him. I think I'm the only person in that entire place praying for him. Like, God, this is not how you made people. Oh. This is not what you made people to be, because how is he ever going to go through life when he's got people screaming at how amazing and wonderful he is? And then of course he does kind of fall off the, like he's fallen off the wagon a little bit, but I mean, how else? That's not how God created humans to get all this value
glory.
And worth and glory. Mm-hmm. All he had to do was stand there, and the crowd is going crazy. So I don't know. The concert was amazing. I prayed for the whole kid. Time. I love him. I want the best for him.
Oh, him and Brittany.
And Jessica Simpson. I used to dream and pray for her a lot. Yeah. Like there's like these pop stars. I'm into these. But anyway, the concert.
And Jessica's parents.
Her
dad used to be a pastor. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Well, and I think Brittany kind of grew up in the church, maybe. And I know Justin, like, I know these kids on their first name basis here. I pray for them regularly. I also pray for characters in movies.
I love this.
But anyway, concert, Garth Brooks, Justin Bieber. Like, when someone can put on a show, but your husband's in that industry. Can he put on, I guess it's different. It's worship. But does he put on a show?
I mean, he doesn't really put on shows, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he used to do that like a handful of times. He's done it in Austin, like when they have, I hate these things, like ACL or they played ACL a couple of years ago, which is a huge deal. So that was like a show. But he's not like a performer, Yeah. I mean,
is it exhilarating to him to hear the crowd
when he plays?
I
mean, whenever he plays, we're all like singing to Jesus.
Into worship, right?
Yes. He's a worship leader. Like it is cool. Like everyone's like singing to Jesus. I mean, that's really cool. I think one of the coolest things, and I could be putting words in his mouth, it's really cool for me these days. He's doing a lot of songwriting. And so it's cool for me to think that like churches around the world, like he was a part of that song that now is leading them to the throne of Jesus. Like that's really cool to me.
Yeah.
You know, that's really cool.
So did you feel like there was an element of worship that was involved in that Garth Brooks concert, or did it just feel like entertainment?
To me, it just felt like entertainment. I think I have heard people like, even like they'll be doing talks and they'll show a clip of people like going crazy at a concert. Maybe I bet it was more like a worship thing at Justin Bieber, girls crying, going crazy. It wasn't really like that at the Garth show. It felt very like there's an entertainer up there. He's putting on a show for you, but he's also like, he had on like, I mean, I'm thinking you're Garth Brooks, for the love. He's got on these like baggy jeans and like a flannel shirt half undone. I don't know. But it just felt entertaining. I never felt, and I'll ask Aaron what he thinks, I never felt like anyone was like worshiping Garth. I wasn't. I mean, I'm like singing at the top of my lungs like I'm in high school again. It was so fun.
That's so fun.
But I've
and
seen
your
like
kids were there.
My kids were there, and they were kind of like, they weren't excited. My kids kept saying, what time is that Garfield show?
Oh my God.
It's Garth Brooks.
It's Garth Brooks. Yes. He's coming back for a concert.
Yes. So they had absolutely zero clue who he was at all.
Yeah.
But he was so entertaining that they liked it, you know. And
that's Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. And we stayed for the whole time. My kids were exhausted, but it was fun.
Well, it looks like you had some good seats to
We
be
had the
down.
best seats ever. Oh, it was
dancing.
so great because they could still sit down and see. Like, had we been on the floor, they would have been absolutely miserable.
Right.
But we had really good tickets, and so that was great. I know.
That's fun.
It was a lot of fun.
What else do you have going on this summer?
Today, we're going to the library and hiking. My thing, too, is I want to, like, find fun stuff to do every day with the kids.
Yeah.
So that they don't lose their mind, and so that I'll be a good mom.
Do you guys have a pool that you go to? This isn't like the culture in the Pacific Northwest. We don't have pools. It's not hot enough.
Yeah.
But I always hear people saying like, oh yeah, we have a neighborhood pool that we just hang out every day. That's what I want to do in the summer.
That's not that far from us. It's like it's a city pool. So you have to pay, but it's really nice and it's not expensive.
Okay.
So we'll do that a lot, but nothing's open until like next week because, we've been out of school for like 2 weeks. So
yeah.
But I'll try to I do this every summer. I print out a calendar and then we look online and we find all kinds of fun stuff to do and fill it in with stuff to do every day. That's fun for the kids, but it also is fun for me because then I'm like, I like to have something that we can do. Otherwise, I just feel like I become nagging mom, whatever.
Right.
So,
and then you're home and then the kids just want to play there.
Yes. I'm like, let's do stuff. So it's fun. But anyhow, we're doing that. I'm going to St. John's with Aaron. And then that's the only thing I have planned for this summer. My kids are going to camp for a week. I mean, just summer stuff. It's great. Are y'all going?
Do they do sleepover camp?
They have before, and we've done Pine Cove Family Camp before, which my kids loved, and then they have done sleepover camp. The boys have, but this time, I don't know if you've heard of Pine Cove. It's a Christian camp here in Texas. It's a really big deal. But they have what they call camp in the city, and so they actually come to the city and set up, and the kids go from 9 to 4 every day. And so my kids are doing that. Yeah,
fun. Yeah,
super fun. Yeah.
I know. My oldest will be in middle school this next year, and he has never done a sleepover. No, he did do a sleepaway camp one time, but I'm kind of I'm ready for him to get into Christian camp mode. I think it's fun.
Does your church do stuff like that?
So we've just come in between churches. So we've just started a new one, and yes, they have a great kids program. So we just kind of have to figure out what's around, what's available.
Caden goes into the 6th grade next year, which means he starts as the student minister at our church. And I'm super excited about that. I mean, when Aaron and I met, he was a student pastor. I love all that kind of stuff. And so I keep telling Caden, I'm like, there's a retreat that we can sign you up on. I mean, I'm already excited for him. And I'm like, well, I'm going to go with you. And he's like, really? I'm like, yes.
Yes, I will.
I'm a crazy mom.
I know. How are you feeling about middle school?
We're at a really small charter school. And so it doesn't feel like a big jump for us.
Okay.
He moves across the street to a different building. Their classes are really small. It's like a family atmosphere. So I'm not nervous about it at all.
Not too stressed.
Are you?
Yeah. I wasn't. We had middle school night a couple weeks ago, and I wasn't really nervous. I just feel like, you know what, Ethan's ready. If he's ready to move on, then I'm ready for it.
That's good.
And it's all the kids and the girls are all there with the boys, and Ethan's not super into girls yet, but I know that's coming.
The corner, right?
And they're just sweet. It's the same kids that we've known since kindergarten. They're all ready for middle school. And then I got a little bit stressed out the other day just going, oh, I remember middle school. That doesn't feel like that long ago.
No, it was my worst time.
It's not. It was, I don't know. It was fine. But it's just when the kids started, when all my friends that I went to elementary school with, then they all started understanding drugs and alcohol and it just changes.
Yeah.
And so just more than anything, it's it's a transition that I love innocent elementary school.
I know.
And I'm not sure I'm ready for him to start having to deal with those things.
Does your daughter start kindergarten next year?
She does. Yep. Oh. I know. So I'll have all my kids in school. And she goes to school right now 3 days a week, full day. So
that's great.
Yeah. So she's already kind of at school and she's ready. Yeah. So next year she'll be in elementary school.
So fun. Oh, I know. I've had 2 years of everyone in school, and it really it freed me up so much to be able to do a podcast and all this kind of stuff. So it's been great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I know. So much. And I like my kids, and I love the concept of homeschool so much, but the reality of it is I really love that they go to school.
Hello, me too.
I need them to go to school.
I mean, I like the concept too. If I had more, it would not work in our family. Oh my gosh.
I know.
I was stressed out yesterday, day one of summer break. I think I could homeschool.
Right. I know. Well, and that's where you're like, I'm so ready for them to be home. Like we only have a couple more weeks of school. Maybe I want them to be home. And then because we don't go back to school till September. Yeah. So by August 15th, you're like, all right, okay. When's it come back?
I know. I love summer so much. I do love like being with the kids and planning fun stuff every day. Like I love that. Yeah. And so being year round, people are always like, oh, that really stinks. I'll go back to school so early. And I'm like, actually, the day my kids go back, I'm going to email you and ask you if you're ready for your kids to go back. And you'll be like, yes.
I know. So, do your kids wear uniforms?
They do.
I want uniforms. I really wish that kids wore uniforms.
It's absolutely the best.
Because otherwise, my boys wear athletic shorts every day, which is also what they sleep in. So you're like, basically, you're wearing pajama day every day.
Yeah. One of my boys would do that every day as well. It's so funny. Yeah.
We put our foot down for a little while. We're like, no, you need to wear real pants. And then we're like, every other kid in your entire school is so ragamuffin. They're all wearing the same thing. Who cares? I need to get over it.
I know. So. I learned that one of my girlfriends, like it was like winter. And her kids, winter here is not that bad. I mean, whatever. But he's at church in flip-flops and shorts. And she's like, I just gave up. Like, if he's going to be cold, it's his deal. And I was like, oh, I want to be like that. Just whatever.
Our neighbor boy, his mom's rule is that if it's under 40 degrees, you can't wear shorts.
That's great. Right.
so basically, like the month of January, you can't wear shorts. Otherwise, you're good.
Otherwise, you're great. That's awesome.
You're going to go.
Yeah. Okay, Emily, this has been so fun. Our hour is already up.
Really? Here we are.
It's lame, isn't it? I know. Okay, guys. I told you it was so much fun. And it's funny because at the end, when I say, okay, Emily, our hour is up, like we chat a little bit more, and then we just kept talking for a whole nother hour. So I have another episode for you next week with Emily and I, and we talk about more things. Like, I feel like that we could have talked for hours. So it's funny. And next week, you'll hear us say several times like, oh my gosh, we really have to go. So it was fun, super fun. Love Emily. Go check out her website, jonesdesigncompany.com or jonesdesignco.com, and check out jamieivey.com for all the show notes. Any link we mentioned and we talked about, it's all there, jamieivey.com. Guys, thanks so much for your reviews and comments. If you're like her sister Hillary and you have these questions for me, leave me comments in the comment section over my blog or send me it via Twitter or something. And I promise I'll try to answer it on another show. That was super fun to hear what our sister had been thinking. So thanks, Hillary, for all of that. And once again, if you want to win her amazing pack of templates for this month of July, head on over to Instagram and follow me there and follow Emily, and you'll see all the directions. We'll end that contest next Monday night. So you have a while. Tag your girlfriends, let them know about it, and then we'll pick a winner. So fun. And then you'll get something mailed to you. And isn't it fun to get stuff in the mail? Thanks to my friend Laura and Lulu Rowe for sponsoring this show. If you or your company is interested in sponsoring a podcast, send me an email as well and I can get you some information. Guys, once again, it is my joy to be with you. I love this podcast so much. I love you, the listener. Thanks for sticking with me for an hour and 20 minutes of your life. I just hope you have a great week. I hope you're enjoying summer. And let me tell you, I am just making a vow to myself that I'm going to treasure my kids this summer. We're going to have fun. I'm going to apologize. I'm going to laugh. We're going to make it a great summer. And so I hope that you do too. I'll see you next week, guys, with my guest, Emily Lex, again. And then I have some more guests coming up for you this summer that you're really going to love. Thanks, guys. Have a great week.